Well, welcome to the Pure Energy Healing Academy. Welcome to a different setup. I'm just sat by the computers. I've got two now because one didn't work because for some reason I agreed to do an interview with a scientist with regards to the bioengineered mosquitoes. And soon as that was said over a conversation, computer crashed, just crashed, like it wouldn't allow me back in. That's never happened. What's the chances of that? Maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist, maybe I'm just a Lulu all over the place, but that's pretty strange, really, for me, pretty strange. So nothing I could do. I couldn't get back into it. I sent some messages to many people and said, what's going on? They said, press this button, press, command this and that, and it will come back on, and it never came back on. So I thought, I'm not going to be stopped. So I went and bought a new computer, and the computer's here next to me. And then as soon as I bought this computer, I came back when I bought that computer, and this had come back on. The screen came back on, so it was back on because I didn't switch it off. I just left it as it was, and it was all back on again. And I thought, isn't that kind of bizarre how these things happen to stop us? And of course, I haven't done the interview. Things happen thereafter, and I'm all over the place doing different things now. But in that moment, I was going to do the interview. So it just shows you how there is a very under evil, dark, and very satanic energy that definitely causes disruption. And if you've ever followed me before, if you've ever seen any of my videos, you'll know that when I talk about certain subjects, if I'm outside, there'll be an avalanche of people that try to interfere, try to stop the flow of that energy that you create. And if you look at that on a level of your day-to-day basis, have you ever asked yourself, has that ever happened to you? And some of you will say, no, it's never happened to me. But I wonder if I was with you through the day and watched, I'd probably say that it has happened to you. I think it happens to all of us. And these sabotage moments of very, very gentle, and sometimes you just don't see them. But how many times has, let's say, a bad thought come into your mind when you have a great idea? That thought that we normally relate to, oh, that's the mind, that's the fear, that's our fear, and that's within us. But maybe could it be an external energy that is everywhere, and it does not like creativity? It fully focuses on darkness and fear and destruction and lack of self-worth, like a real lack. I mean, like a total disaster within ourselves, that we just sabotage ourselves. Our conversation is just so weak. Is that totally all our minds and our programming from a child? I think it maybe 50%, 60%, 70%, but I do believe that there are times that we have a great idea and something happens to stop it. Or we might be going somewhere and doing something which is really productive, and somebody just from nowhere causes a disruption, a kind of distraction. So we end up not doing what we thought or believed or know in our soul was a good thing to do. And I think we should look at this more. I think we should talk about it more. And we should be more aware of it, because it's almost like the spiritual community, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them dismiss any kind of darkness or any kind of negativity that can and does interfere in our daily life. and you have to be stronger than that, and you have to think positive thoughts, and yeah, I'm number one for saying that. I totally agree with that. But I also believe that we should also know our enemy. We should be aware. We should be aware, and like the enemy on the ground is people who are telling you to do things that you shouldn't do. But what about the enemy that can't be seen? What about the enemy which is that tries to influence us in a different direction? You know, sell our soul. Don't do things that would create more light and more love in this world, and more healing and more wisdom and knowledge that helps us along this journey. Could we simply be incredible beings with so much knowledge within us that has been suppressed by the very darkness that knows this? Evil knows this. We see as children the amount of wisdom in children, and honesty and knowledge and truth, which has been programmed, beaten, suppressed. And the older we get, the more we don't speak our truth. We're frightened of upsetting somebody. We're frightened of saying something that could cause chaos. And we're almost dumbed down by our own fear and our own programming. And I find it interesting daily that I watch people and I see energy, and I watch the energy around people. And the more I focus on energy, the more I can see that there is disruption. There is an energy that isn't theirs and doesn't belong to them. The hardest thing I think for me was when I was trying to understand the difference between the spirit world and, let's say, a darker energy, an entity. And there's been many a times that I've seen people talk to themselves. I mean, many years ago, I speak about one girl who was in the village who talked to herself, and I really, really believed that, you know, she was speaking to somebody, and I did believe wholeheartedly that it was somebody who was next to her who loved her, and I could see that there was somebody who loved her next to her. But the more I started seeing what was going on, it isn't just a simple case of oh, okay, that's just one person. It could be multiple people. It could be 2 or 3, and it also can be an influence of darkness too. So it's not all cut and dry, as we hear from many spiritual teachers that you have 2 guides. Well, I've seen a lot more and a lot different things happening on many levels over the years. And I've spoke about the fact that there can be deceivers in this world. So you can be speaking and talking to yourself, which you're not. You're talking to an entity that is next to you, or the spirit world, which is next to you. And that is a fascinating subject, and I relate to it because there are times when, even before I started this field of work, there was one particular time that I was in a house, and I wasn't really into any of these things. Did I believe in ghosts? Well, kind of, but it's not something that I literally spent my time thinking about. But there was a house that I went into, and from the moment I went in, I fell on the stairs, because back in those days we had carpets and a metal rod that kept the carpet on the stairs that went right inside. Well, the rods weren't there, so I slipped, the carpet pulled out, and I fell and banged myself. Jesus Christ. So I was very careful to get to the top of the stairs. And did I bang my head going up? But something happened, and I hurt myself twice. I went, what the hell's wrong with me? I went straight into a bathroom. I can clearly see it, and that's why I can relay this very easily. I opened the bathroom cabinet, which was, I think, mirror doors, and there was I was clearing properties, by the way, so that was my job, my job was initially to go into the properties and find anything of value, so that the guys who worked for me wouldn't feel encouraged to just put it in their pocket. So I went through everything. So for some reason I went directly for a woman's pouch, like zip pouch with with creams and oils and different things in it, you know, little tools that they, you know, clean their eyebrows and what have you. So I went in and stuck my hand in, and all of a sudden I went, ow, pull my hand out. I'd sliced the 2 of my fingers with a razor blade. I went, Jesus Christ. So now I'm wrapping that up and I'm going back down the stairs and bang my head going down the stairs, and I slipped again, and I shouted out, what the hell are you doing? What is wrong with you? Why are you doing this to me? That was me talking to an entity, a ghost, which I would class as spirit trapped in between 2 worlds, which was still in the property, who wasn't happy with me being there. So I talk about these stories, and I do believe that our consciousness knows when there's somebody in a room. So there are certain signs that you can, you know, sometimes relate to, not always, but sometimes. And that could be the feeling of the back of the hairs of your neck stand up, or the hairs on your hand just like stand up. You can, your whole body feels fuzzy, zzz. Or you can hear some kind of like you're coming up to a top of a mountain and your ears pop, and then you can hear a whistle. And there's so many other things that are trigger warnings that there is an entity or energy which is different from yours and different from the room that comes close. Sometimes you can feel that there's a saying that they used to say that something's just walked over your grave, meaning that spirits just come through you and you feel different. So the only way you can describe it is certain ways, but the point being, I believe wholeheartedly that this conversation isn't spoke about, because people don't say, well, this is just what you're talking about. I can't see it, so shut up. You're just making stories up. Excuse me. COVID, run! So, yeah, can't sneeze these days. People still panic. They're still in fear mode. So, I think it's a really interesting topic that we should be talking about, and we shouldn't be frightened of, and we shouldn't, we are frightened of it because we're frightened of the repercussions, because so many people just mock and ridicule unless it happens to them, and then they want everybody else to hear what they've got to say, and they want everybody else to believe them. But if it doesn't happen to them because they're so, blinded by their own ego and life and nonsense of what's called living, that they don't see and they don't have time to understand this. But there are times that something happens that nobody can explain, and only you know with your heart that this is real. And I know it's real, and it doesn't matter when people talk to me and try and justify the science and try and explain to me why I'm talking nonsense. I also get extremely exhausted listening to nonsense that they have no clue, and all there are is up here trying to scientifically prove to me that it's nothing to do with it, it's something else. And it's like you haven't even an ounce of a clue to what you're saying. You're just regurgitating information that you've read from a book, and you have no clue about anything. So it's difficult when you're up against this energy of criticism. Now, could it be that there's a double whammy in this energy of criticism? Could it be that, there are times that you meet people that will walk right in front of your face and stop you from being or doing what you were born to do? And it's not the case that you feel angry. It's not the case that you want to punch them. It's not the case that you start to question yourself and feel bad. All of them things are just nonsense. What really happens is your consciousness is trying to tell you that this is a deliberate sabotage done by darkness, and you have to be aware of it, and you have to wake up from this. But we take that information and we can only utilize it in a way that we try and figure things out in our mind, what our consciousness is trying to say. You can't figure things out by feeling that energy and trying to work it out in the brain. You have to come out of your brain and listen to what your consciousness is saying. Consciousness never tells you to confront somebody and get angry with them and fight with them. Your consciousness never tells you to start feeling down or self-pity or feeling stupid. Or consciousness says, what are you doing? You're falling for what darkness is doing to this other human being, which is easily manipulated and taken over. I'll give you a great, for instance. Every time when I was at the height of my healing career, and it wasn't a career per se, but it was life, and as I was doing really, really well, meaning I was so busy going everywhere, there were times that this dark energy, this entity energy would interfere with people around me, and you could clearly see that the person was not themselves, and they would be psychics, they would be clairvoyants, they would be healers, and they would deliberately come up to me and cause anything to try and belittle, try and pull me down in so many ways, try to make me question my true purpose, and so on. And it would always be interesting, because the person that would have asked me to go to do the work with them would say to me afterwards, or at that moment, I'm really sorry, I don't understand why my friend's behaving like this. Have you ever had that, when somebody's just behaved really, really not like themselves, or somebody come up with who doesn't really know you at all, and then just start to abuse, or even a friend would just change and be nasty? I used to smile and turn to them and say, the only way I can explain this to you is this. This is on one level. It's not on all levels, because the major level is the fact that they've been hijacked, they've been taken over by darkness, and they're trying to stop you from doing the good that you are about to do. But the other thing, as an easier way to explain this, is say, well, wouldn't you think this is lovely that their true colours are showing themselves, so that I would not need to be around this person, work with them, or have a great friendship with them, to have a bond with them, and then eventually realize their true colors, and then feel even worse. And you could have even poured your heart out to them, and they could have been so awful and told the world about your personal things, that, like, we all have personal things that, I trust you to keep your personal things as I would, as you trust me. I would never say anything that you've got personal challenges. So have I. We all have. But to share them with other people and tell the world just to ridicule you and pull you down is probably one of the greatest sins I think we could ever do. That's why I love people who keep things that, and like, I'm a healer, I'm a psychic. I know tons of stories that are inside and then they disappear, and it's not my story. But these weak people who are listening and wanting to get all your information because they're going to utilize it either in a good or a bad way, it's like, okay, this isn't friendship. This is somebody who's just trying to, get as much info and then use it against me one day. So isn't it great that true colors are shown to me at the very instant, so then I don't need to deal with that person or deal with the effect of a long-term relationship with them? And then the person next to me say, oh, that's so beautiful. Why didn't I think of that? That's such a lovely way of putting it. Now, it could be very much that the light is showing itself by helping us. So the spirit world could be helping us by showing their true colours. It could be one or the other. I've never really truly understood it, but I try and see both sides to this yin and yang, this light and dark. And we've often heard that our darkest moments create the most amazing soul within us and how we can change the world. But that never happens if we have an easy life, if things are nothing really happens. The most troubled person who has been attacked by abuse, by darkness, by negativity, by accidents which are so bad, and things that happen which are so painful, grief, become the actual true light that they're meant to be. So I don't see my ankle break as a negative, I saw it as a positive, and right now it's made me stronger in so many ways. So I always see something that happens which we call challenges, tests, or experiences, how bad they are, they still relate to, well, it's going to show how strong I am. And if I'm not strong and I'm weak and it's affected me long term and it's taken me a long time, then maybe I've entered into that relationship of this pain and suffering to really truly understand it. So it could be, and it could be argued very much that, well, you conquer things very quickly, so you never really truly understand them. And I'll go, that's a really bloody good point. You're right, but I have gone through a lot of pain and for a lot of years, and I truly understand that. So it's one thing conquering something and fixing it quickly, and it's another thing being inside pain for a long time and truly understanding it. I don't think there is a right and wrong. I don't think you should be in pain for a long time, but on the bright side of it, that when you come out of it at the other end, you are an expert, you are a master of understanding pain and suffering. Now that's a really powerful thing, because when you move into the light, you're bringing with you knowledge that most other people don't understand, and that knowledge that goes into that ocean of spirit grows through it. So and so too does conquering painful situations quicker. That is still knowledge, and it's still as powerful, because it's a way of saying, well, this is how I overcame it. So I find it all fascinating. I honestly, I think this world that we live in is fascinating. It's very interesting how everything is now bread and circuses. Everything is a disruption. Everything is war. Everything is breaking news. Everything is listen to this guy because he's speaking for 30 seconds and he's got a powerful message. And it's almost like we are drawn to energy that is shock. And it seems less and less that we're drawn to spiritual mentors who spend time and bring out a message that isn't 30 seconds or 10 seconds. It's a true conversation. It's an experience that we sit and listen to, and as the mentor speaks, we are awakening certain senses within us that is healing our mind, healing our trauma, and then we grow stronger with the connection of our consciousness. Can you grow stronger with a connection of consciousness with a 10-second short? I don't think so. I think a 10-second short is to simply distract people in the moment, rather than really fully embrace it and understand it and work with it as somebody who speaks to you for 10, 20, 30, 40, 1 hour minutes. So it's like you can really only understand somebody by listening to the beginning of the story and the end of the story. And a lot of people used to come to my seminars or circle nights used to say, Mark, you started your conversation and I'm like, where's he going with this? And then at the end, it all makes sense. So if I was to share with you a short halfway through or at the beginning, it wouldn't make any sense. It would make me look stupid. It would be totally like nobody would be able to get it at all. But if you sit and listen to a full conversation of what I'm saying, like, oh, I understand what he means now. Oh yeah, this makes sense now. So it's vital that we start to let go of these shorts and stop focusing on them too much, because all what happens is you're feeding something which is missing within inside yourself that makes you feel better for a few seconds, but then it's almost like a drug and it feeds. That's why TikTok's so addictive. It's a drug. It's forget heroin, forget sugar, forget cocaine, forget these shorts are just giving people this sugar, this fix instantly. But when you get these fixes, they mean nothing. They're diluted instantly and they disappear. And you're not even thinking about them because you're on to the next one, because you're waiting for the next fix. So I had this discussion with a friend of mine. I can't do shorts. I've tried, but I can't be the original, the genuine person that I am, because why am I doing a short? To attract attention? I don't want to attract attention. I want to share a message that takes time. And we have to look at like all different avenues. We have to go off the path, come on it again, jump up, go under, go around it, and then sit down and think about it for ourselves afterwards when we're making a coffee or a cup of tea. And like, do you remember when Mark said that? And isn't it fascinating? And then you then come up with your healing or your interpretation or your explanation to, yeah, I like what he said there. Didn't really, that didn't resonate with me, but this resonated with me. And now you can start to have your own conversation. You can start to have a meaningful discussion with your consciousness, because that's not the brain, it's your consciousness. I think shorts are just to feed the brain or to feed an empty hole inside us all to make us feel better. Quick fix, quick joke, and like, give me another one now, give me another one again. Like, no, I know you're probably all going to get upset now, like, but honestly, I love people who have got great wisdom and who can tell a story. I love storytellers, love them to bits. So over the years, I used to go with a friend of mine to Churiana, and there's an Indian temple there, and there's a man who they call the guru, and they call him Babaji, and Babaji is Gurinder Singh. Now, you won't find pictures of him. You might find one. He doesn't allow people to bring pens and papers or anything to record. You just leave them outside and come and listen. And when that man used to talk, he used to tell a story. At the very beginning, he used to tell stories. And then over the years, he had an interpreter, a woman who used to read the story, and then he used to answer questions. The woman was amazing, but I used to like it when he used to tell the story. And the story would normally last for half an hour. And in that story, the amount of consciousness sparks, the getting the battery and starting the consciousness up by way of truth, by these, as Don Tolman says, golden nuggets of truth. When Don speaks, you can feel them golden nuggets of truth. This is truth being spoken. It's beyond the mind. It's a feeling that there is no question. You know this is the truth. There is no fighting this. This is the truth. Nobody can dispel this as lies. This is the truth. And you feel that. And I've worked like for 20 years to try and be the storyteller of my experiences and the experiences of those that touch my heart of clients. And I've done this over the years by way of people. Why do I do it? Not for likes, not for fame, not for fortune, but to share how I healed and my clients healed by certain things that they did, certain things that they thought, certain things, actions, certain modalities in healing, certain crystals, certain oils, certain incense, certain practices that they would use, certain people that they would go and see. And I'd share all of the wealth of that 2 decades with you all. I mean, like, time now has no meaning to me, and it never did at the very beginning. And it has less meaning to me now than it has, because I realize that time is an illusion, but it is an illusion that can, at times, not only make you feel older, but it can cause great damage. It can cause you to have accidents. It can cause you to be enslaved. It can be the enslavement of everything, time. But it also can be that you can see time as something that you can manipulate. So I can slow time down. If I need to get somewhere, I slow it down. I don't rush, I just slow time down. And it's funny how that works for me. It really does. Time does not have an effect on me anymore as it did do before. I used to be frightened of being late and stuff like that. That doesn't affect me anymore, not at all. Time is an illusion, and it's put there to suppress, and it's put there so you work 9 to 5 because that's the most powerful energy that you have. And that's why the corporations know it, and that's why, you know, they've done the study and they know how to get the most out of you. Corporations, corpses, to turn you into corpses. So you work 9 to 5. You think about it. When is your most powerful energy? It's 9 to 5. After 5, you get tired, so they don't want you anymore. You see what I mean? So this idea of time is a trap. And it normally goes against you, and it's normally for the masters who enslave you, because slavery continues to this day. It's just in a different way. You know, you might get some, you know, back in the days you might get some food and some rice. Now you get some, I don't know, credits now. So I was just thinking, yesterday I didn't know how old I was, genuinely didn't know how old I was, and I didn't want to know how old I was. And then somebody quite rightly pointed out to me, thanks very much mate, that I am 56 years old. I thought I was 52. I swear to God, if you'd have said how old you are, I said, I'm like, okay, I'm 52. Right, 56, oh thanks for that. And then I said, how old are you? Oh, don't like, oh, it's okay for you to point it out to me. How old are you? Oh, well, I don't want to talk about that. Yeah, thanks. But anyway, I quickly wiped that away, and I am no age, because age is very similar to, if you ever ask somebody who's lived a long time how old they are, I guarantee you they'll tell you they don't know how old they are, because time and age have no consequence other than if you embrace it and hold on to it and think about it. You will only find flaws, and you will only make yourself older and more poorly. So I am no age. I am not Mark Bajerski. I'm far more than that, and so are you. What's your name? It's just a name. Names are for tombstones, baby. That's all they're for. They're just for gravestones. But your name is not who you are, and your age is bullshit. Absolute bullshit. 100%. So I feel 32. That's what I feel. 33, 32, 33. That's how I feel. That's the honest to God's truth. I don't feel older than that. And I feel young. I do feel young all the time. Yeah, okay, I broke my my ankle really badly. But what? It's not even been 2 months. Or is it 2 months? I don't know. I'm not counting. But it's fixed now. I can walk. I'm fine. I'm strong. I'm getting stronger by the day. I'm working on my tendons now to make them stronger and working on it. But yeah, look at how quick my body heals. Why? Because I'm looking after myself. I'm not worried about time. I'm not worried about where I should be. I'm not worried about how old I am. I'm not worried about the things that they want you to think about. They want you to worry about these things, because if you do, then the corpses of this world, I call them corpses because they're dead, corporations, love that. They're going to shove it in your face. They're going to shove it in your face all the time. Because why? Because if you fear it and you worry about it, then you're going to try and do something about it. And they always give you the problem reaction solution. Look at how young this woman is, and she's 80 years old. Why? Because this is what she uses every day. Bullshit. She doesn't use that at all. She's just selling it. Just like the coffee that, what's his name, sells. Is it I don't know. What's that guy called? The good looking, not as good looking as me, but good looking guy. What's he called? I can't remember. He's on Ocean's 11. So he sells coffee. He doesn't drink that coffee. I know somebody who knows him. He's got a special coffee machine, because I was over there where he lived not so long ago, and we drove past his house at Lake Como. Anyway, it was in Italy near Torino. And we drove past it, and I went, oh. And she says, guess who lives there? What's he called? Come on, you know what he's called. I forgot. I can see his face now. He was a doctor on TV. I can see his face, but I don't know his name. Anyway, so it's all a lie. It's all a lie. Breaking news is a lie. It's there to bring you in and to make you buy into whatever it is. Might not be in monetary terms, but it's in your energy terms. So let's look at that, shall we? Let's look at that. The most important thing the darkness wants is for you to buy into the energy of shock, fear, sadness, anger, all the low energies. Why? Because if you create that very energy that they're pushing to you, then you create the world of darkness more. Oh, no, I don't. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. If you're angry, do you think you're creating good energy around you? And your energy can spread throughout miles. It's so powerful. So either way, you're either creating negative energy or positive energy. So if darkness knows this, if there is an evil, if there is a darkness in this world and there's a battle between light and dark, then surely they're going to spend 24/7 trying to make you sick, trying to make you distracted so you never go into your true consciousness. They try to make you use your energy in a bad way. And when you know this, when you get this, you can stand back from all of it and say, I'm not going to be triggered by that. Oh yeah, it's breaking news, good for you. You take it away, I'm not interested. And when you do that, that gets darkness really angry. And it gets mad because you are overcoming these things, because you are not coming at it to the way they want you to come at it. So if I say to you, you know, I'm 75 years old and look how good looking I am and I use this and that and this is my product, that would be, for me, like I would be just as bad if I am trying to, and I am not 75, I'm lying and I'm cheating, okay? That's what they do, okay? This is what they do. They cheat and they lie. Good people don't do that. Good people say, yeah, I tried this works, it's wonderful. I'm working with, you know, Vesuvianite at the moment and working with it next to Tektite, and it's doing great work for me. It's helping me, it's healing me, you know, and I'm getting a lot of benefit from it. That feels good to me. And people say, oh yeah, okay, that's interesting. And then they might go and buy some and try it. But if I am deliberately, knowingly, I am buying a product and I want everybody to buy it, say Bitcoin, because I've spent all my money on Bitcoin and I want it to go up, and I start to tell everybody, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. Why buy Bitcoin? Because it's the best thing and it's good for everybody. Okay, but you're invested in it, are you? Yeah, well, you're bound to say that, aren't you? You're not going to say anything else, are you? Because you've invested in it totally. So why are you telling everybody? Because, oh, well, if everybody really buys it, don't tell anybody, but if everybody buys it and I keep sharing it, then my stock will go up and I'll make more money. All right, so why are you really selling it then? You're really selling it because you really believe that it's good for all of us. And if you actually look into it, you'll find out that it's a con and it's all the CIA connected. Anyway, it's all there. But yeah, I mean, everything which is corpses is going to turn you into a corpse. Any corporation will turn you into a corpse. So the power is yours. Like, I'm not watching that war because that isn't a war. All I'm seeing is pain and suffering, and that's what they want me to see, to create. Now, we know who's creating that, and we know who's going to benefit, and we know who's going to suffer. And those who are going to suffer is inevitable, because that's what they do. Darkness spends its time to try and cull the world, try and create mass satanic rituals where there's so much abuse and so much killing and so much trauma and torture and death, that creates that energy that people watch every day, and then they're creating it, and it gets more and more powerful. If you stand back and see all of this as it truly is, it's all a manipulation game to try and steal your energy, your time, and your focus. Once you get that, then you can turn away from that and create an energy which is powerful, because you no longer step into that energy. And we have to work on that daily. I am not a guru. I am not the one who knows this, because every day we are attacked. We are constantly on our guard, because there is manipulation by way of people who are weak and who are manipulated, who come into our lives to try and cause disruption and try and cause shock. And these are the people that constantly feed from he said, she said, guess what he said, guess what, they're like, oh, just go away, go on, be gone. hurt people, be gone with you, not interested. And we grow from that low level energy of bickering, of nitpicking, of judging, of opinions, of chit chat. Just go away. That's not why I'm here. And we grow from that, and then we start to see beyond that chit-chatting and that, and we say, well, these people are weak. These people have been infiltrated by darkness. They have no love. They have no kindness. They feed from drama. They feed from it. I don't want it. And I see what's going on, and I see what's wrong, but I am no longer going to touch that or be anywhere near it. I'm growing from it. I am now seeing it more. Okay, now I get it. So see you later. That's not what, and I understand it. Because you can't move forward from that if you don't understand it. And the first step is to feel the pain and suffering of somebody attacking you. And then, why is that? And why am I hurt? And why are they saying this? And then you try and figure out, is it me? Why did they do it? And then you realize it wasn't you. And then you figured out, it might take you years to figure out that the person that you love or your family have said this, it's their issue, it's their weakness. And then you realize, okay, so it wasn't me, so I can let it go. And you can let go of them being awful, because now you know that they are weak and they're in a bad place and they don't know how to heal themselves, and they are invaded every day by bad thoughts from this dark energy that is around us every day, always trying to infiltrate us by this mind. I try and relate to it and write it down as this little tiny devil with the horns, right? And he's smiling, and he's inside your mind, and he's got his fork, and he's trying to stick you all the time. It's a bad thing. They're awful. Yeah, they're saying that because of this reason. And then all of a sudden you've got this conversation going on in your mind, and the other person's saying, I didn't mean that. What are you talking about? Why are you even thinking that? You're thinking that because this little demon, which is the dark energy around us that can infiltrate us at any given moment and trigger us, it's there all the time. And when you say, no, I'm not listening to you anymore, this isn't my thoughts. This is something else. And when you start to become aware of your own consciousness speaking and the brain, which is easily manipulated, that's not, the consciousness doesn't get manipulated, it gets severed. So you can't get to your consciousness. Darkness tries to sever that in so many ways. Corpses do it in every way. Poison. Oh, it's food. No, it's poison, mate. Oh, it's healing. It's medicine. It's poison, mate. It's poison. Separate. So you go in your mind and you get angry and you get depressed and you get all them bad thoughts, not yours. You are now connecting to this dark energy that's always around, but you can easily get rid of it by seeing it, letting it go because it's not your thoughts. Start to eat natural foods, keep away from corpses, keep away from all the corporations, and start to hunt for natural foods. Start to drink natural water, start to take the herbs, take the roots, and start to heal your body, what Mother Earth gave you. Not in a packet, in a plastic packet with a fancy, beautiful image. Junk. Poison. Rice Krispies, chocolate bars, poison. So you get more depressed, more upset, and then you get more connected to darkness, and this little demon loves it there. It's going to stay, ain't going nowhere. I'm staying because you just fall for everything that I say. You believe anything that I say. And when you listen to your consciousness and go and meditate in there and sit there and listen, and at times you'll just feel, okay, this is me. And then all of a sudden this kicks in and you go, no, that's not me because I'm angry. This shouldn't be angry. This should be relaxed. This should only work when you cross the road and look left and right. That's when it works. Thank you very much. Now shut up. Yeah, but I need to think about my future. No, shut up. You're nothing to do with my future. My future comes with my consciousness. My consciousness says where I am right now is where I'm meant to be. And where I'll be taken to is exactly where I'm going. I trust in my future, my path, and I am on my flow. Shut up. As soon as you go in there, you're not on your flow. You're in there. And in there can be dangerous. So you need to learn to find the tools to acknowledge that it can be infiltrated by negative thoughts, by negative energy, for sure, 100%. So these are the things that can help us in these conversations. Like, don't be frightened in saying that ain't me. That's a nasty thought, that ain't me. Where did that come from? That ain't me. That's not me. This is the energy that is growing because of wars, because of the madness that is being created at this given moment. I mean, this is how dark and powerful the energy is. We believe that there are a level of people that are here to help heal the world in the name of politics. They're not there to help heal nothing. They are there so that you cannot go any further than them, and beyond them are the ones that control everything. So if you're always in the energy of politics, then they've got you. You're part of this game, this negative energy. And they don't even care anymore. Darkness doesn't even care now. So what it'll do is it'll put somebody in a so-called position of power who's got dementia, who should be in a home, who can't walk, talk, speak, and they'll put him there just to say, we can do whatever we want because you are not in control. And when you realize that and see that, and when you've got leaders around the world who are becoming more and more like the SS, Nazi Germany, and you realize there's nothing that can be done, you realize that this is deliberately created. So the world becomes more confused. Confusion in the brain causes more opening of energy of negativity. Negativity then brings in negativity, and darkness loves that because it comes in and then feeds you with nasty thoughts. World's going to end. All the things that it wants you to believe and feed in. Your community around you is what's important. Just like my community, what's around me is important. So what I see around me is beautiful people working hard every day, and that's all I focus on. If I switch my mobile phone on and I start looking at it, I guarantee you all I will see is the end of the world, Everybody's dying, everybody's being killed, all the bad things are happening. So, this is a trick. This is deliberate. So you've got to grow by understanding that everything is a manipulation on the black screen these days, and nothing truly is what it seems. So just be aware of that, and always, no matter who it is, who you're listening to, just say, yeah, he's all right, I like what he said, but actually, no, I'm not going to. Yeah, Mike talks about his crystals a lot. Yeah, actually, I'm going to go down and buy some at my local crystal store. Good for you. You're starting to use your own truth inside yourself, what feels right for you. Follow your consciousness. Don't follow what I'm saying. Follow what feels right to you. He has a few good points, and I'm going to take them good points because they feel right, but I'm going to leave that. That's how you should be. That's how I am with people. I don't believe everything somebody tells me. I know a lot of healers. I know a lot of truth speakers. But I know some things they say is right, oh, that resonates with me. Yeah, that doesn't feel right. And I'm not frightened of saying that doesn't feel right. And I'm gonna do whatever feels right for me. And that's what you should do. That's your true purpose. So, by seeing the world in your own truth, and by following that guidance that comes from your heart, we'll never be let down. If you just follow blindly to what your government says, to what people tell you every day, and you just do it, and there's no feeling of that golden nugget of truth, this feels real, this feels right, then you're just following blindly. Why would you do that? Why would anybody do that? Follow what feels. For me, if I'm ever in the company of people and something resonates and it feels right, that's what I follow. Just because somebody says something, anybody can speak. Everybody speaks all day. What does it mean? It means nothing unless it resonates. And if it resonates, then you follow that. And just because it doesn't resonate doesn't mean that you have to diss everything. Just thanks very much, but it doesn't resonate with me. So I give you a book, read that. Don't really mean anything. Read that book. Oh my God, this means something. Then that's taking you on your path. That is your flow. That is the sign that your conscience is saying, yeah, that's it. That's where we're going. No, not that direction. That's war. No, that's the pharmacy. No, not there. That organic patch there. There, the fruit and vegetables and all the stuff that you need. But no, not there. That's a supermarket. That's poison. And you figure these things out by listening. to your consciousness. And then when you get to the, you know, the organic farm and it's beautiful and it's healthy, you're going to choose, this one feels right. Yeah, but it's all organic. Yeah, but today this feels right. I want this fruit. I want this fruit. Because, okay, good, because you're listening to your consciousness, because your consciousness speaks to you every day about what you should be feeding your mind, body, and spirit with. Anyway, guys, I love you all. I hope this little chat serves you well. It's a little bit of a different part of the room, and I do like to have a chat with you most days. I'm going to start to work on some crystals now, and have a lovely day. Thank you all. Take care. Bye.